And joining us now, Clinton supporter Lanny Davis. Lanny, before we get to what you're talking about, what's your reaction to the news that Saturday, actually more like 72 hours from now, she'll be out?
Well, first of all, I'm very sad. This is a great friend, one of the great friends I've ever had, one of the great people I've ever met, and one of the great candidates that I've ever been involved with. So I'm sad and disappointed. I think she's been gracious and has done it in her own way and in the best way for her followers, who will also be very disappointed across the country, but understand that it's important for us to pull together now and focus on the general election to get a Democrat back in the White House. You are starting a petition to push for a vice presidential nomination for Hillary Clinton. I want to know, are you doing this with her knowledge and or support? I'm doing it at voteboth.com, voteboth.com.
Say it one more time, Lanny. We didn't hear you. You know, we actually charge for this advertising. We charge for advertising.
You know what?
We believe in capitalism.
I'm going to waive the fee, though, for you, Lanny.
.com. I told Senator Clinton yesterday in a great telephone conversation that I was going to do this before I knew about her plans and before I knew about what she was going to say last night. I told her I was going to do it whether she liked it or not, and she said something about, well, in the 40 years I've known you, you've never listened to me anyway. But I told her, I then said, well, neither my wife would agree with that. I've never listened to her either. I said to her, the reason I'm doing this is because we need to win the presidency, and Senator Obama needs you, strong on strong. You have both strengths in different parts of the electorate, and he needs you. He can win without you, maybe, but he can definitely win with you, and that's why I am doing it.
Did she say, I support you, I'm glad you're doing this, I would like to be Vice President of the United States?
No. I asked her whether she had considered the vice presidency, and she said she was ambivalent but open to it. She was anxious to elect a Democratic president and anxious to help Barack Obama, and recognize that her strengths among women, senior citizens, Hispanics, working class voters, and rural voters would help Barack Obama in the places where she ran so strongly, and his strengths among independents, young voters, and upper income professionals is a great combination. Strong on strong equals victory.
What's your reaction to Jimmy Carter's statement today that it would be a disaster for Democrats because of his negatives combined with her negatives? It would be just, you know, an invitation for John McCain to gain the White House.
You know, everyone's going to have a different opinion on this. I respect President Carter and all his good works very, very much. He was a one-term president, so he might have made some misjudgments as well. No one is absolutely right in politics, and all I want to do is help Senator Obama see the 18 million or more people, because I think Barack Obama's supporters are going to be part of this, who want to bring these two candidates in a dream ticket together.
Hey, Lanny, I have a copy of the Wall Street Journal, and it was written by you. And it's called Obama's Minister Problem. And you raise a question. Why did he stay a member of this congregation? Why didn't he speak up earlier? Why did he reward Reverend Wright with a campaign position even after knowing his comments? We know what Father Flager, another 20-year friend of Barack Obama, said this weekend. Here's my question, Lanny. Do you really honestly believe Barack Obama left this church for any other reason but for political expediency based on the questions you yourself raised?
Well, I don't back off anything that I've written.
I didn't ask you that. I don't want to spin. I want a direct answer. Did he leave that church for political expediency?
I never question people's motives. What he said is the reason he left is because he wouldn't allow himself to be subjected to the associations and the outrages that were occurring. I certainly believe he was embarrassed, and that's the reason that he left, yes. But I also believe he has an issue that he's got to address, not only people like me, but throughout the country, and they cannot expect that this issue is going to go away.
And that also would relate to William Ayers, and that also would relate to Father Flager, and that also would relate to his comments about bitter Americans. You think we deserve answers to those questions?
I think Senator Obama is a great politician, and there are places where I knocked on doors, and there are places in America that need...
I asked, should he answer those simple questions?
You're tough tonight, Sean. Yes, he's going to have to address those questions.
Okay, now,
Sean,
because the reason
I think he recognizes that.
All right, I have another column for you. I do a lot of Lanny Davis reading in my spare time. I'm at home. But this one was written in the Huffington Post, and you just say it's time for Senator Obama to explain his record on health care, on his PAC donations, on his positions on the Iraq War, on his position on the authorization, on his commitment to visit 5 dictators in his first year as president, on his position on driver's licenses for illegal immigrants. Those are all Lanny Davis questions. So here we are. Your candidate lost. You're a Democrat. Do you still want those questions answered?
I think to be a successful candidate, he's going to answer, and he's going to have to answer every one of those questions. And people like me who support him, and I support him because of his views on issues that I care about, and I think he and Hillary Clinton has always agreed on those issues.
So in other words,
he's got outstanding questions that need to be addressed, and every good candidate knows that he has an incomplete set of issues that he's got to address in the general election.
Your spinning is getting better over the years. You've perfected the art. I just want you to know that. But look, as the Politico says today,
I'm telling you the truth. You call it spinning.
The Barack Obama limps across the finish line. I mean, he really. Let me ask the question this way: if the country, if we were just starting this process over, and America knew about William Ayers and Jeremiah Wright and Father Pfleger and his comments about bitter Americans clinging to their guns, Bibles, and religion, do you think there's any chance he could have won this nomination?
I think it would have been more difficult, but yes, I've seen. Yes, I bet it would have been more difficult. But I've seen inspirational young people, inspirational voter turnout by Barack Obama that we haven't seen in my political lifetime. I've always said that, and every time I've been on these shows, Lanny, that I admire that part of his candidacy. As
good as you are, I kind of enjoy it, in spite of our friendship, to see you struggle as hard as you are struggling tonight to answer questions about that you yourself have raised about your candidate in the Democratic side. So
you did great, Lanny.
Thanks for being with us.
Why am I not? Thank you, Alan. But why am I not surprised that you're enjoying yourself, Sean?